interview a couple of brothers in this room, which I find phenomenal that God still brings them all together in some way, somehow, some way. He has an amazing story. I actually came at the tail end as everybody was kind of discussing it, so I missed it. But they kind of told me what it was, and I just said, man, you too much. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let him tell this story. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask y'all if I can. I know y'all eating. You got to put your fork down to spot real quick for my man Jim. Greetings, brothers. It's phenomenal to be here right now. I know this building very well. I'm a whole tree graduate of Morehouse College. Shout out to Frank. Thing right here was on our $8 back in the day. If you want to be here back in Graves Hall. So to see him when I come up in here, to see the lieutenant of the police force when I come up in here, it's always a pleasure to be here. It's actually my first time being here, so I want to get that out the way real quick. I didn't stand up and speak because I didn't want to take that time away since I knew I had this platform. But it's actually my first time being here. I've been trying to be here for the better part of 3 months. Big Mike Eaton over here is my neighbor. Our kids go to the same elementary school in Fayetteville. He's been telling me about this. I actually met Q years ago at the Legendary Awards. I interviewed him for the radio station I was at. I've interviewed my brother Rennie Curran at the radio station. I've interviewed Arrow when they were finishing Black Hats, the movie. So I've seen half the brothers like in here some way, shape, or form before. I recognize a few of y'all faces, and I just got to put it together where I know you from. But with that said, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm originally from East Orange, New Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta for over 20 years now. I came down here to go to college, and I left for 2 years, came back with a wife and a child. I now have 2. We're blessed families living in Fayetteville, Georgia. I got a 14-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son. When I heard about Brothers United, it's a natural for me because I came to Morehouse College. Coming from Essex County, New Jersey, to get 300 brothers, 100 brothers, 3,000 on one campus in one room, and then ain't no violence, ain't no craziness going on. It's very rare from where I'm from. Anybody from the area comes to any part of the country, you know what I'm talking about. So when I heard this, I had to be a part of it. And then when I heard some of the connections, so my good brother in the back, Kenny, came today. I appreciate you coming with me. My brother Jermaine, who's also Morehouse grad, came. Thank you for coming, Jermaine. I'm gonna get into my testimony real quick. You see me wearing this shirt, and it says 524, but in here is 2 words, shots and forgiveness. So it's 5 shots to forgiveness. That's the title of the book I'm currently writing. I have never written a book before. I'm actually a dyslexic kid from New Jersey who had trouble getting out of high school, got into Morehouse on a wing on a prayer. It took me 6 years to graduate. So if you get told 18-year-old me, 20 years later, 21 years later, I'll be writing a book, I'll be like, got it. So this is full circle moment for me, but the reason I'm writing this book is because on October 1st, 2015, I was shot 5 times at close range with a Magnum 380 in a case of mistaken identity. Absolutely. I've been in the corporate world at that time. I had just recently left it. A couple years before that, I was doing my radio thing. I had actually, 2 weeks before I got shot, I had just interviewed Arrow and the people at Black Hats Film. They had just finished rapping. I interviewed him at the Peachtree Village Film Festival. And on my way to becoming what I call myself a broadcast entrepreneur. I helped start a radio station called Sensation Station Network. It's located on Far Road in Midtown, right by the Atlanta Fish Market. Some of y'all may naturally know where that is. I'm a Connecticut School of Broadcasting graduate as well. Went there while I was in corporate America after Morehouse. And so I've been on the red carpet using my microphone and interview skills. I'm a voiceover artist. I do commercials for small businesses. That's how I make my current money. I was starting my business in 2015. Actually, my second client ever. I was going down to Barnesville, Georgia, to go see a warehouse owner because he hit me up on LinkedIn and say, I wonder if you could do a commercial for me, help me out, this and that, check out my facility and see if you could write me a commercial do voiceover. I was on my way there. But I had a friend who I used to work with at Target Corporation when I was in executive logistics there. And she was my high potential person that you bring up in the company. So they dissolved my job, they kicked me out of my rear about 10 years ago now. And she's still with the company. She wanted to go for the job that used to be underneath mine. I used to write SOP manuals for Target. So our standard operating procedures, I've wrote a few of them for our stockers. And so I was like, yeah, I can help you, I can get you any job in Target, I help you prepare. Problem is, she lived in Forsyth, Georgia, which is in the Macon area, right down 75. And so I have a client I gotta get to in Barnesville, trying to help out my old friend. So I told her, I was like, look, we can't do this over Skype, it's not working, let me go see you. 8:30 in the morning, it's gotta be real quick. I gotta get to my client, and my father had a biopsy that day, and found out he had cancer that same day I got shot. So that was a real tough day for us. But when I pulled up in the parking lot, this white pickup truck locks me in like a T. I can pull into this parking space. I'm not sure if I'm in the right spot. It's a nondescript building. It's kind of sleepy town, Forsyth. No offense to anybody from there. But I pull into this parking lot, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm in the right spot. And this old lady sitting on this chair, just like you sitting right there, smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna ask her, hey, am I in the right spot? But she gave me this look like, don't talk to me. And took a drag her to her. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you. So I called my friend on the phone and I say, hey, I'm in such and such apartments. I see brown shutters, brown doors. Am I in the right place? She said, yeah, you're in the right place. As soon as she said that, this pickup truck was screeching in off the two-wheel. Dude flies out the car, door swinging open, and he's at my front window before I know it, knocking on my window. Hey man, what you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm bad. Was I supposed to come through security or something? I didn't know what was up. And he was standing like this to the side, and I could see he had something. I couldn't see the gun, but I knew it was a gun. I've been stuck up right actually out here by the MARTA station before, unfortunately. So I've been through this. But he didn't ask me for nothing. I was wondering why not like, run your pockets or whatever. I know the drill, unfortunately. Right. He didn't ask me for nothing. And he's just agitated, veins popping in his neck, yelling. And I'm still on the phone with my homegirl trying to help her out. And so I got my hands on him, like, hey brothers, it's all good, what you need. He doesn't say really another word to me. All of a sudden he's on the phone and he just screams, I'm sick of this mother effing, what. And then he steps back, one right in my window. And I saw him raise up the gun. I lifted up my hand and my leg, and the first shot went right into my leg, shattered my entire leg. I have a titanium rod in my left leg right now. That was the first shot. At this point, I don't know why I've been shot. I don't know why he's accosting me. I don't know what in the world is going on. This is kind of a state of panic. And my leg is shattered, so I'm holding my leg together by my knee because it's dangling. And it's fight or flight time. So I push my way out of the passenger side door. And I'm thinking, his gun, and before that, he blows out my window, and I hear click, click, click. He's still trying to shoot me. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting the hell up out of here. I don't know what in the world is going on. So I push my way out, thinking I'm just run on one leg or something, it's a crazy thought. And I fell to the ground, and I'm just crawling on my hands and knees. I see the brother walk around underneath my tires. I can see him walk around. I make peace with God at that moment. God, like, he's gonna kill me. I don't know why. He puts a gun to my temple, and I just said a quick prayer, like, Lord, take care of my wife, my kids, my mother, my father, my sister, their husband, and their family. Boom, 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 real quick. And for some reason, I heard something say, turn your head. So I turned my head, and he pulled the trigger right at the time I turned my head. He shot me in the head. I have a bullet right here in the back of my head, in my skull, a blackout. He continues to shoot me 3 more times, once to my throat, right here, once to my stomach, right here, and once to my ribs, right here. The fact that I'm talking in front of you right now is an utter miracle. It is. And so, I think about that because I use my voice for a living. I'm a voiceover artist. I've done commercials, I've done station imaging, I've done all of that. I speak publicly. So to get shot in the throat and it bounce around my throat and blow out the side of my jaw, I had a hole in my face over here. If I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know that. The supernatural healing has occurred with me. And I realized that God has a plan for my life, but at the moment I'm going through it, I don't even know why I've been shot. So it's a very convoluted story, so I'm gonna try and speak to it because I don't want to take time from Frank tonight. But it's very important because I'm writing a book called 5 Shots of Forgiveness, and I want to tell you why I came to that title. Because I went through a lot in a very short period of time. But I also want to tell you how God is pulling strings way before you even know it. Like before I even got down there, he was already pulling strings. And I'm gonna tell you how. I'm I'm gonna try and speak to you, try and stay with me if you can. So as he blows one in the back of my head, I black out. I don't even feel these 3 shots. So that actually was a blessing in disguise. I didn't even feel these. The same lady that was on that chair had gone inside. When she saw him pull up, she must have gone inside and like, uh-oh, they about to get it on, or whatever. This man was in a rage. Before he shot me, that second time, I grabbed his shirt tail. I was on the ground, I looked up and I grabbed him, and I looked dead in his eyes. It's the first time I've ever seen no life in somebody's eyes before. I look at each one of y'all's eyes, I can see life behind the eye. He was like a zombie. I had never understood what that meant before that moment. And so I'm pleading with him, grabbing his shirt and saying, hey brother, I don't know what's going on, but you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. He didn't say another word to me, just shook me off, and I heard the chamber get cleared in that gun. I know when a gun jams, and I know when that chamber gets cleared. That's the most gut-wrenching sound you could ever hear. And when that chamber got cleared, that's when I did my Hail Mary and said, all right, I guess it's over, this is how it ends. And so when I come to, as a fireman had actually got to me. Now let me tell you how God works. In that area, Monroe County, Forsyth, Georgia, average ambulance response time is 10 to 12 minutes. Okay? They got to me in 4 minutes from the time the call went in. And the call went in about the 4th shot. They got to me in 4 minutes. All right? And he was already gone because that old lady that was sitting on her chair actually lifted up the window because she recognized the guy. He lived there. And she yelled at him, stop shooting that boy, you're gonna kill him. And that's what snapped him out of his haze. He looked down at me, and according to the police report, I'm out, I ain't seen it. According to the police report, he looked down at me and realized, jumps in his truck, runs off. Okay? Now, all this happened because 2 days earlier, the maintenance man in that building, he found him in the bed with his lady. The mother of his 2 children, he had been together with her for 15 years since high school. Dude drove the same truck as me. I parked in a parking spot. And dude was doing everybody wiping that thing. He's just a loose dude who's doing all this crazy. He mistook me for him. I was wearing a fedora that day. Dude loves to wear fedoras, of course. Dude was 5'8", brown skin, no tattoos, no piercings. He thought I was doing it. I wish he could have read a license plate. State County, he would have known what it is. You know, I wouldn't do it, but be that nonetheless, I know I was meant to be in that spot because there was an old Caucasian lady down the street that had fainted at 8:30. By the way, this is 8:30 in the morning. This is 8:45. So you know the dude was gone. He shot me in broad daylight at 8:45 in the morning. But earlier that morning, an older white lady had fallen out, and the paramedic was already right down the street administering aid to her. That's how they got to me in 4 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just leaking out, y'all. I had smoke coming out the back of my head. My friend Priscilla comes running out her room, running out her apartment. She gets in her car because she heard it. I never hung up with her. She heard it all. And she comes running to get me. She gets in her car. She almost hits the guy who shot me. Now, the part that's really, really crazy about all this is that guy who shot me was her nephew. Okay. I was going to have her nephew shoots me. He didn't know me, I didn't know him, he didn't know why I was there, I had no idea. She didn't even know he was there. She didn't know he even was living there because he had been estranged from the family. He had mental health issues for the last 10 years, never got no help for it, just out there in the wind. 3rd time his woman cheating on him, 3rd time he caught her. Forgave her the first 2, 3rd time, and now he's like, that's it. 2 nights before he shoots me, he goes to his baby mother's crib, and he knocks on the window, knocks on the front door, tells his mother-in-law, bring her out. She's like, no, I can't do that. You need to go. I called the police. He said, bring her out. Guess how you stay. Just like that. So his mother, which is my friend's older sister, calls me when I'm home, and I don't want to hear this, and tells me, Jay, I hate to tell you this, but I believe in my grandchildren's nerve angel. He tried to go over that house 2 nights earlier. He tried to end them then. He tried to kill her then. But grandmother wouldn't let him in the house, and the police was already on the way. He comes back 2 mornings later to go finish the job, but this time she had talked to him in between that. And he said to her, Mom, Ain't nobody raising my kids but me. I don't care what nobody said. Ain't nobody raising my kids but me. She said, baby, what are you talking about? And he just hung up. And she's a pastor in Tennessee. And she said that she was praying on it, and God told her that he was going there to kill the kids, kill the wife, and he turned it on himself, murder suicide. And I got in the way. So when I think about how I can recover from getting shot and why all this happens, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a burden, honestly, at first. But it became a little bit easier to deal with because I'm in the hospital. I have a trach in my throat. I have a bullet in my hand. My whole leg is shattered. And I don't even know why I've been shot. So as I'm recovering and I'm getting bits and pieces of the story, and I can't even speak still, I'm just in a rage. My blood pressure is 200 over 130 something. I said, Mr. Wilson, 220, you're like dead. So we gotta figure out something. You're on blood pressure medication, your diastolic is still like 198. We gotta do something. But we gotta figure out something to calm you down. I don't do anything with anybody right now. I need some answers, I want some get back. So I'll never forget this night. It's October 14th. I finally woke up. I was out for 4 days, in and out. I woke up, my wife's in there, my family's coming in, but I'm just in a rage, as you can imagine. October 14th, the night of, I'm watching the Mets game. I'm from Jersey. I'm a Mets fan. They was doing it big. They made World Series 2015. So I'm on TV. I'm chilling. All of a sudden I heard, and you gotta forgive me. And I heard a lady's voice. And I was like, oh, hold the hell up. Who said that? I'm like in my feelings. I'm like, who said that? None of the nurses was around. So I called the nurse, but I can't talk. No, I'm trying to use sign language. I said, somebody say something to me? And they were like, no, baby. Okay, let's give him morphine. Because I'm on everything, morphine, tramadol, the whole nine. I know what I heard, though. I know what I heard. I ignore it. Go watch the game, fall asleep. Next night, I hear it again. This time I'm pissed. I'm like, all right, I turn the TV off. And I'm like banging on the thing. I'm like, hey, I can't speak though. I'm rage, no voice, and I'm in a rage. And they're like, okay, we gotta help this brother. We might need to take him off some of this stuff because he's hearing things. I'm thinking that's what they're thinking about. But I know what I heard. Third night, I know it again, third night. And I'm telling y'all, God is my witness. I'm writing about this in the book, and I was struggling, like, do I really tell these people, I'm crazy? I'm so at peace with it, I can tell you what I know. Mm-hmm. And this is what I know. That third night, one of the nurses comes in, and she's not even talking to me. She's on the phone. And she said, yeah, girl, I gotta get this book, this and this. She gathered her stuff, getting off shit. I got this book, something about forgiveness. Yeah, this is book club. And this and walks out the room. I said,
yeah, that's God, bro.
And she said, forget what? And I'm trying to flag her before she got her. She left, gone. I started thinking to myself, okay, you really, because God has a sense of humor, y'all. Like, I know, you funny guy. You really funny. I know what you're doing. I don't want to forgive him. I don't even know who him is. I didn't know his name yet. I ain't get his story yet. I ain't had none of it. But 3 nights in a row, I hear forget. I'm not in a position to forgive. I want some get back. I'm gonna call my home in D.C., Maryland, Jersey. No, I had to break down at that moment and say, all right, God, what you want me to do? Because I can't do it. So I know how to pray. I had 2 deacon grandfathers. I was brought up in the Baptist church. Father teaches Sunday school at Olivet Church right in Fayetteville right now. I know how to pray. But this was the most basic prayer, and this is important that I share this with y'all. Because I don't care where you're at in life right now. I don't care what your background is. Your mom might be a pastor, your dad might be, it don't matter. Because when I tell you I can rouse the church up with a prayer, I had to give a prayer. This was the most basic prayer I've ever prayed. I'm like, God, look, man, I don't know how to do this. I don't want to forget this joker. I don't know who he is. I don't know why I got shot. But I need your help because I can't do it. I can't forgive it. I need you. I need you to come and do it, what it is you do, and come in my heart and change because I can't do it. That was it. That was finally the moment. The next morning, my blood pressure was 132 over 80. 6 hours later. I did that at 2 o'clock in the morning. 6 hours later, 132 over 80. She took my blood pressure and told me, she's like, Mr. Wilson, your blood pressure is 130. I was like, I can't talk now. I'm like, eyes like this. I said, oh, okay. And mind you, I have a trach in my throat. I can't swallow nothing. Water hurts. I lost 40 pounds in the hospital. I got chunked up. I was, you'll see how short I am. I was 200 pounds. I got chunked up, so I'm losing weight like crazy. Can't eat nothing. Can hardly drink nothing. They got to put IVs in me. So they do this thing called swallow test when they want to see if they're going to be able to take the trach out your throat and you can speak again. Now here, I use my voice for a living, y'all. So I got to have my voice. I'm telling you right now, I could have been in a wheelchair, have my voice, I'd have been straight. But standing with no voice, I'd be no good. That's how important my voice is to me. I used to stutter when I was a kid. I was dyslexic. I barely got into this place here. It took me 6 years to graduate. Like when I tell you, when I found my voice, I found it at this campus. So it was very, very important. My voice is very important to me. And I'm losing this. They prepared me. Mr. Woods, you might have to talk like this with one of those things. I was like, oh, God. You kidding me? So this is what my mindset is, gentlemen. And so they're like, Mr. Woods, we got to do a swallow test on you so we can try and progress, but we can't promise nothing. Water. Blue. Right now. Okay. Orange. Blue. Right now. Milk. Right now. Yogurt. Pudding. Apples. I mean, they keep going. They're like, you want to keep going? Because they're like, you have to understand, these are medical professionals. They see a bunch of stuff, they ain't never seen this. They're like, just like yesterday, you couldn't swallow water. And I don't know where they are in their spiritual life. I don't know if they even have it. But I know what I did the night before. I was the only one who knew what I did the night before. And so, all of a sudden, 132 over 82, you swallow all these juices of water, you swallow all this, but what in the world? So, wrapping it up, I have to tell you though, as I'm getting out of the hospital, I'm on a walker. I had to relearn to write. That bullet in my head, I'm lefty. I picked up a pen with my right hand. That's how bad I was. I'm like, hold on, I'm not right-handed. What in the world? I couldn't write. I had to relearn to write. I had to relearn to walk. I was literally doing these numbers on a walker. Before I left that hospital, I went from walker to crutch. They actually gave me a cane before I started. Like, you progressing like in a matter of 3-4 days. This is happening. I need y'all to understand. It's like 3-4 days. So my message to you today, and I'm writing this book, 5 Shots of Forgiveness, and I want y'all to check everything out. The book is going to be released later this year at 524book.com. But follow me on social media. I'm going to give y'all, I'm going to send all that out to y'all, because I have stories of forgiveness that's very, very important. When I made that decision to forgive him in my heart, I need you to understand something. I had no promissory note. I had no, oh yeah, if you forgive him, you're going to walk again. You forgive him, you're going to write again. You're going to speak again. None of that. I heard forgive him. It was like a directive. And I'm like, the hell? Like I was defiant. But I had to break it down and I had to obey what I thought I heard, what I knew I heard. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is I obeyed something that I wasn't even sure it was going to work. I didn't have anything. I followed the directive. And immediately, what I need y'all to understand is when you incorporate forgiveness, and you have to have it, because there is a lot of stuff going on here in the world. If you do not incorporate forgiveness, you're going to get ravaged by sickness, your blood pressure, this thing. You're the one who's going to die. I have to tell my kids watch me go through this, okay? And at the time, they were only 8, they were only 10 and 6 at the time. And I told them, I said, this isn't daddy's fault, but it's daddy's problem. All right, so I need everybody to understand. You got children at home. They're gonna have stuff happen to them. It's not their fault, but it's your problem to deal with. So I could easily not forgive you. That's my choice. I ain't gonna forgive him. But guess who's gonna get hurt in the process? And now I can't walk. I can't play basketball with my son no more. I can't do this. I can't speak to my kids over the phone. No, that wasn't an option. And I didn't even know this when I made the decision to forgive. So it's very important that you hear me, gentlemen. When you forgive, and you do it immediately, if you get a message in your spirit to forgive, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, follow it. Don't ask questions. The understanding comes later, but just be obedient. And there's something called expedience of obedience I write in my book, because when you do it immediately, God doesn't wait to help you. He didn't make me wait 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months before I could walk it. My blood pressure came down in 6 hours. I was able to swallow the next day. Amen. So when I'm telling you the expedience of obedience, I'm walking, and yes, I walk. I can still jump. I ran a 5K on the anniversary of my shooting, October 1st, 2016. I completed 5K in 44 minutes, limping it. but I completed it. All right? So when I tell you there is supernatural healing and forgiveness, and the belief that I'm gonna follow you because I can't do it. And that was the moment everything changed, when I gave it up. I heard, let go, let God all my life. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't really know what it meant till that moment. I let go of it, I couldn't do it, and the Almighty took over. And that's why I'm standing here today. So I thank you for this time, and I want you to remember expedience of obedience, and please, gentlemen, forgiveness. There's a lot of y'all brothers in this room have been through stuff from the time you're a child, and I don't know if it was your parents that did it to you, you didn't even meet one of them, brothers, something, gangs, all the time. We've been through it all. These black faces in here, I know what it's like to be a black man in America. Forgiveness is essential for your survival. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. Thank you for this time. God bless you.